What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Richard Prophet. Welcome back to the Prophet Realty Group channel, where we talk about everything and anything that's related to real estate. Today, I want to talk about a little topic actually in my personal life. So, yeah, something happened in my personal life, and I want to share it with you guys here on the channel. So the other day, I'm leaving my building, I'm coming down the elevator, right? And when I come out of the elevator, there's this posting, and usually somebody passes in the building. They usually post a little, they post a picture up or whatever, or they got these screens. They'll put it on the screen, and then they'll show on the bottom where's the service going to be, or where's it going to be held, the wake, the funeral, the burial, if anybody in the building wants to come out, right? So I see a posting, and whenever I see these kind of things, I go over to look to see, maybe I don't know too many people in the building, but I say hi to most people. So I go over and I look to see, oh, let me see, oh man, and like, oh God, that's my man there. I know this guy. They had a picture of my man there, and I'm like, what? So this was a guy I knew, from the building, a guy that we chopped it up a lot of times. He was a guy that loved Miami, like I love Miami, and the last time I seen my man was in December, just a couple months back, in December, at Mangoes, because he loved mangoes, and he said, look, I want to get you a mojito at Mangoes. I'm like, yo, I go to Miami all the time. We got a place there. We go to Miami all the time. I've been to Mangoes. He goes, yeah. Well, I got to get you a mojito. So, I met my man in December, and we had some mojitos. I'm having a mojito here in memory of my man. So yeah, I haven't seen him since then, and here it is, March. So I haven't, March 3rd. So I haven't seen my man in a few months, but it's like that, life, you come and go and you running around, right? So I come down and I see his picture, and I'm like, so I'm like, right from the start, I'm like, nah, this is all wrong. Cause I'm looking at the picture, and my man, he got like a wrinkly shirt on. It don't look right, cause my man is old school, sharp dresser, slick all the time. He was an architect, and he was involved in like some big projects in the city. As a matter of fact, he built part of Columbia Presbyterian, down in Washington Heights. He designed a big part of that. So he was involved in big projects. And so he was old school. He was a sharp dresser, always slick. Always beautiful suit on, or beautiful slacks, beautiful shoes. He had a beautiful briefcase. Sharp, slick dresser, nice pen. Slick. Old school. Nice dresser. So right away, I'm like looking at this like wrong. The picture they had. So I go ask the doorman. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm like, I seen his pic. What's happening? We're like, yeah, he passed. I'm like, what do you mean he passed? I was just, I was just with him in December. And he was like, yeah, he passed. And it's crazy because, uh, well, he lived alone. He had a young lady, but she didn't live with him. And, so he lived alone, and he had a sister. But the sister never came by. I don't know whether they weren't close or whatever it was, but here's to you, my brother. I would never see her around, and the doorman said that um, because he why I hadn't seen him in the last couple months was because he was actually living in the hospital. Uh, his girlfriend had came to see him one day, and the story goes that he was pretty bad, so she had called EMS for him, and they came for him right away, and they took him to the hospital. And from the hospital, he never came back from the hospital. He went to Calvary, and I mean anybody that knows about Calvary is Calvary has a one way door. It only goes in. Uh, it doesn't go out. If you understand what I'm saying with that. Once you if you go to Calvary, then get your affairs in order. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I hadn't seen my man in the last couple months. Um, so he was staying there. So the doorman is telling me that his sister's been by, you know, in the last month. She was by like 2 3 times a week. Somebody that hasn't came by ever. You know what I'm saying? So he was telling me that. I mean, you ever want to know what's going on in the building? You just ask your doorman. So he was telling me, yeah, she's been by. She's been by with his realtor, and she's been by with his attorney. Like she's been by with his realtor, been by with attorney. Um, yeah. So and I mean, it's crazy because the same doorman told me that one day, like last month, he called and he said, "Hey, my sister's gonna come by. Um, can you give her? I need you to go upstairs to my apartment, and I need you to, this is where the second drawer. There's gonna be an envelope. I need you to just take out $600 from that envelope and just give it to my sister." So it's crazy that he trusted his doorman more than his sister. He was closer with with our doorman than he was with his sister. But now that he's in Calvary, she's here, twice a week with business people, which is with you know, I've seen it before. My next door neighbor, something like that happened as well. But so yeah, so I mean, that kind of messed me up, you know. And then today was the wake. It was a beautiful wake. He had a nice crowd. But I looked in that box. That didn't look like my man. He was all sucked up, like whatever the makeup they did. It didn't look like him at all, man. I didn't like the way how they had my man at all. And he had like some shades on. He never wore shades. I mean, whose decision was it to put shades on him? I mean, obviously whoever put those shades on him didn't know him, because he ain't never wore no shades. At least I never saw him wearing shades. And You know, well, he had a nice turnout though. A lot of people from the buildings, they came out. They showed love. You know, which is cool. Couple, you know, there was one guy that I didn't even get along with too much, but he came out. You know, he showed love. So you know, I got up, I shook his hand. You know, because I respected that he came out, show my man some love, and yeah, so yeah, he had a beautiful service. Then you know, they give you certain viewing hours for the wake or whatever. After that, directly after the wake, they moved. Like the crowd got so big, people came out. You know, people that worked with him and stuff, investors, you know, friends, family. You know, people came out. The crowd got so big that they had to move us to another room, and and then they did something called an intermittent. I never even heard of that, but that's where like a priest comes in, pastor, whatever, and they say a few words. The place was nice because they had like these monitors up, and the monitors they you know they showed different pictures and stuff of you know, of your loved one or whatever, which kind of messed me up. You know, when I would look, you know, yeah. So yeah, you know, my man always had like, you know, he was he was one of those guys with a great smile, like big smile, light up any room. You know, another friend of mine actually, a childhood friend of mine, a guy I grew up with, you know, a guy called my brother. He was another guy with one of those smiles that would light up any room, and it's weird because he recently passed. So yeah, so you know, we went to a service, and all I'm trying to say is, you know, the guy wasn't much older than me, so you never know, you know, what you know, what the Lord has in store for you or your family, whatever. So just you know, it's fun, you know, running around, you're trying to grab this, grab that, you know, increase your holdings or whatever. But you know, get your stuff in order, because you know, you're not promised tomorrow. And you know, my man, you know, my man was a slick dresser. He had a beautiful convertible Mercedes, beautiful. You know, it was like a dark blue, peanut butter guts, man. It was the big one. You know, it was beautiful. And you know, he wasn't, you know, you're the last one you think, you know, that a guy, you know, you're gonna pass. He was a couple years older than me, and you know, he was always like a little chubby guy, and he had that operation or whatever to lose weight. And to me, he never looked the same. You know, he lost the weight, but you know, he didn't look healthy to me. You know, so you know, all I'm saying is, you out here, you know, it's cool to, you know, build your portfolio and all that, but it's very important to start, you know, getting your stuff together if it's not already together. You know, get a get your stuff in order. Get what you want in order. Take care of people that you want to take care of, that you feel deserve. You you know, to be taken care of once you're no longer around. And yeah, because you're not promised tomorrow. Yeah. So my brother, this mojito is for you. Cheers to you, man. You will be missed. I'm Richard Prophet. This is the Prophet Realty Group channel, and thanks for watching. Thanks for spending your time with me.